It's time for the NAM Podcast, featuring your host, Neil Anderson.
All right, people, thanks for tuning in. And it's the Neil Anderson Podcast. I'm here with John B.
Howdy, everyone.
Sitting in the barn, just hanging out. And singing about war. Good God, war.
Y'all.
It isn't good for.
You gotta make sure you get the y'all.
Oh, absolutely nothing.
Say it again.
Oh, good God, war.
So yeah, folks, it's just another episode of us being ridiculous.
Folks.
Hey.
That's all, folks.
Yeah, I was about to say, Porky Pig, he used folks all the time, and he's one classy pig.
He's a classy pig.
Got the bow tie and the jacket.
He did have a bow tie.
I don't know why that's so funny.
And the hat.
Sometimes the hat, not always the hat. Elmer Fudd always had the hat.
That's all, folks.
Elmer Fudd had the hat to cover up his bald, shiny head.
Oh, I'm gonna get that wabbit. Oh,
No,
I can't do it.
Yeah, you got to get like more.
Oh, I can
like,
get it. I just have to sit there and do it.
Oh, I'm gonna get that wasquee wabbit.
oh, that wabbit.
Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit. Kill the wabbit. You got to get that like
the vibrato.
almost brain damaged way of talking too.
It's pretty nice out this week.
Yeah, even when it's like not been the best of weather, it's still been a pretty nice day, you know. And it was a nice weekend. It was a good
really
church
was.
service yesterday. You didn't play too loud, which was good. We had Judge in attendance yesterday.
We had who?
We had Judge, one of the Seneca County Common Pleas judge in attendance.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I ended up sitting with him. It was a nice little surprise.
You're like, oh, hey, I know you. I think I voted for you, guy.
Well, yeah, you know, him and my mom graduated together.
Oh, that's
So
cool.
I sat with him, and I met his wife for the first time. She was a real nice lady, real classy.
Well, that's nice. That's good. Rubbing shoulders with the old,
With the high and mighty.
the high and mighty.
Yeah. Feel special.
Before you know it, you're gonna be putting on one of them masks and going to them parties. You know.
Man, I don't know if Seneca County has those Eyed Wide Shuts parties. And even if they did, I don't think I'd want to attend.
I was watching the Office episode with Robert California, and he's showing off his house before he sells it, and they have like the party in there. I don't know if you've ever seen that episode. But,
I've never seen that episode.
well, he's got this like ginormous mansion, and he's showing it all
He
off.
has an Eyes Wide Shut party.
Yeah, and that's what he was saying. I bought this place and thinking I would have one of those types of parties.
So he didn't actually have
my
a
God.
party.
No,
he was just
didn't. No,
So-
they were having a party at that time just to like send out the house because they were like, why don't we just have a party at your house?
But it wasn't the Eyes Wide Shut party.
No, it wasn't an Eyes Wide Shut party.
See, it loses all effect now.
He tried to turn it into that because he walks out after they all drank like a bottle of wine each. He like walks out to the pool and like disrobes, and everybody's like, "What?" he's like, "This isn't a get together. This is a party." He just takes his robe off.
I mean, it's true. It's not a real party till somebody's naked.
Yeah, true.
Damn Italian Americans.
Damn Italian Americans and their delicious dinners,
Delicious dinners and
pastas and
And the,
meatballs, and dang it.
stereotypical association with the mob.
Oh
That's-
yeah, always. Kind of like it's just like I say on The Office when Michael Scott is it's like the Italian guy that comes in and he's the insurance guy. and he's
Yeah.
trying
He's
to
acting like he's strong-arming them.
yeah,
and
and then
stuff.
he's like, well, this place might catch on fire, and he's like, is he saying he's gonna catch the buildings on fire? Like, he is the mob. Maybe he's in the mob. Then they go get dinner. He's like, the guy's like, I'll have the spaghetti, and I want the toast on the side. If it comes burnt, I'll send it back. I'll have the salad. I want the ranch also on the side. If it comes on the salad, I'll send it back. And then like Michael's looking at him like, oh, like serious, like I gotta order something very cool like he just did. And just like so demanding. I'll have the gabagool.
The gabagool.
That's what he said. And Dwight's sitting there. He's like, he'll have the gabagool. He's like, I don't know what that is,
God.
sir. I don't even know what that is.
I was watching a TV show or a movie or something a couple of days ago, and I lost my shit because it was a stereotypical like Italian mobsters sitting in a restaurant, and one of them's like, "Bring out the gabagool. Where's the gabagool? It better be good gabagool today, or I swear to God, I'm gonna come back there and
The
shove your apron
gabagool.
right up your ass."
Oh my god! I don't even think gabagool is a real thing.
I don't think so either.
Michael just made it up.
I mean, it's not just Michael Scott
it's a
on
Mi-
The Office.
It's a Michael Scott made up Italian dish, gabagool.
Dude, it's been, like I said, there's something else I watched. I have no idea what it is. They did it in Harley Quinn too, when she was like staying with her parents. She goes to beat up the mobsters her dad is indebted to, even though she hates her dad.
Oh yeah.
You watched that episode with me.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. I do like that show. I like Clayface.
So fucking over the top.
Clayface and Bane are my two favorite characters,
Like
and they
both of them, like
they both have
way-
the same voice, which is great.
They're both like way like lowered on their power scale.
They're like-
Their powers are like way nerfed, especially Clayface.
Yeah. Clayface, go in there and act like the mailman so we can get some more info about these people. Tell me more about this.
I need to nail this
mailman.
character down.
I need his backstory. Was he divorced?
Is he? How long's he been a postman?
Yes.
Does he have a daughter he hasn't seen in a while?
He's like, just shut up and turn in a postman and go over there. And then Bane, he's like, when do I get a chair like everyone else? He's like,
Oh, yeah.
sitting in the corner
Like,
with like a
they
little
made-
steel chair, and everybody's
like,
got these huge back leather
Bane
chairs.
is such a joke in the series, but it's so funny.
It is hilarious.
Because if you never read the comics, like your natural assumption is like, oh yeah, Bane's like he's like a tiny Hulk, basically. He just gets angry and smash, and that's
Yeah.
all. He's not super smart, but he is super smart. Like that's why it's even funnier for me, because the real Bane, he figured out who Batman was, broke his damn back. Like, he jacked Batman up.
I broke your body.
But I mean, I guess he did break Batman and Harley Quinn too.
Yeah.
When like, you shouldn't have gone out, and Bane just cracks him against that post, and his legs are pointing in different directions. And Batgirl
Yeah.
shows up,
Yeah.
and she's like, "Whoa, nasty!"
Yeah, and he's kinda
your
like-
legs are like. Are they supposed to be pointing in the wrong directions like that? They're like, whoa, way jacked. They are so jacked up right
like,
now.
I'll be all right. It'll be okay. Just get me home to Alfred.
Yeah, but I love it when they finally split up the city and they give Bane the pit.
Yeah.
They
Well,
give-
no, Bane has his own part of the city, and then after the rest are taken out and it's just Bane and Two-Face, then he gets all mad because Two-Face isn't like cutting him in. He's like, see, Two Faces, you're there, you're the Shadow. And he's not the Shadow. Even Batman's giving him shit. That's why Batman's legs gets broken, because he's giving Bane shit about the posters. God damn it, I knew it was too much of a thinker.
And he's got this pit though that they turn into the jail, that they send everybody to the pit, and he's like the owner of the pit, because everybody knows like Bane is like
Came from the pit.
came from a pit and grew up in this pit, and like so he feels at home down in this pit, and people get thrown down. He's like, welcome to the pit. he's like a therapist. He's like,
It's like
tonight is game night, everyone, come around.
It's like a rehabilitation center.
Yeah. Harley Quinn
See,
gets
there's
thrown
no-
down there.
There's
It's karaoke
no
night.
doors on your cells because where are you going to run? It's a pit.
He doesn't care. It's karaoke night. Come on,
See,
Harley.
you're not allowed to partake in. Oh God!
Yeah.
In the
I cannot show
you can't be in
favoritism.
the talent show.
yeah, you can't be in a talent show.
Yeah, who's gonna keep me from being in the talent show, Bane? Yeah, meet Karen. You realize I'm gonna kill you, and I'm gonna go there in like 2 seconds. And she just slaps her Bane rig and gets all jacked up. And
Yeah, that is a good show though. HBO Max, Harley Quinn. It's pretty.
dude, I've been watching more like
it's
HBO
pretty
Max
funny,
and
man.
stuff. Like, I've
It's just a funny play on like the whole like
DC verse.
well DC Batman universe kind of thing. Not like everybody, but like,
Oh, they made the Joker hilarious.
Mm-hmm.
Like, totally psychotic.
then
you
he
don't
loses.
really know what he's
well,
going to
the
do.
funniest part is when he loses who he is and becomes like some like middle-aged like just like suburban dad. And
Suburban stepdad, and then he goes back to being the Joker, and then actually goes back to being the suburban stepdad.
as well. So he's like a suburban stepdad as the Joker, and he's like killing people. Then he's going home and going, "Billy, do your homework." It's like, what the heck? Oh man, there's stuff I want to do, and I just can't do it because I'm so freaking busy all the time. People, you guys ever feel that?
You gotta make time, dude.
Well, I know, but
But
it's
you
just,
do have a big family,
It's not that. It's not. It's just
and you got a lot of stuff going on. You've got bands.
It's like I
you've
want to
got
go to some
church
baseball
band,
games.
You've
but
got
I
my
can't.
shoe in your face.
Oh my gosh!
I bet that stinks.
I want to go watch John Wick, but I can't because I got other stuff going on.
We need to go watch
well,
Evil
I could
Dead
go.
Rise.
I could go, but I don't want to go watch a movie at 10 o'clock at night. I'll just freaking fall asleep, man.
Right? For me to catch a late showing, I got to get permission from my probation officer and all that shit.
I gotta get permission from my mom. Oh, John B.
I didn't say mom,
I know you.
but we'll
did.
use that as code from now on.
Yeah. That's what I was gonna say.
Got to make sure my mom says it's okay,
I
guys.
gotta ask for my mom real quick. Big brother.
Yeah, Big Brother. He's you never know when Big Brother's going to check up on me, make sure I'm not doing anything dumb.
And he's a dick.
Actually, he's not. My new one's pretty laid back. He's all right.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm just saying the government.
Yeah, the government is a bunch of buttholes,
Yep. The system sucks.
big time. And it's such it's a pain in the ass to get things done. Like, hey, I need to make sure all my stuff's taken care of.
Yeah, and there's so many people in cahoots with each other. It's like, hey, you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Okay.
Yep.
They don't care who's involved. They're just it's like, oh yeah, we'll let this one slide. We'll do this one, whatever. It's just a number, man. You're like kind of like how you think of things at your job or your workplace. It's like if you worked at a factory and you just watch parts go by every single day. That's how they think of people when they're coming through the courtroom, as parts just going by. They don't really look at you as a person. They just look at you as another number.
I mean, that
another
depends on the
case.
court. It also depends on your frequency in that court.
I'm just saying, man, from my experience with that shit, it was...
I mean, for the most part, you're not wrong. It's boom, boom, boom. Knock out the cases as fast as you can.
Well, it's not like that.
And it's not
like,
just-
we don't
and
even
for-
care what you have to say about it. Like, it's just like,
And for the, for
It's
like
kind of what
county
I'm saying.
stuff,
It's
they-
kind of like you're already preordained to either be let loose or not. It's like they don't. It's not even like
Yeah, but severity is going to depend a lot too on, hey, so, prosecution, courts, their big thing is successful prosecutions. Mm-hmm. If it means, dropping charges on somebody that did some real shitty things, they're going to do that instead of fighting something that they could possibly lose because they want that success rate.
exactly.
They don't care if it's for the best of the community or the right thing to do or not. It's got to keep that success rate up.
Yep. It's all about numbers, man.
You know, in some places it's a little bit different. They're trying to change some of that stuff. You know, like with the use of drug courts and things like that. But it's still.
Oh, do you fund the courts with DUI? You fund probation with DUIs. You fund all that stuff with DUIs.
Well, drug courts are a separate thing. After, you know, chances are anymore, if you get a DUI or you've had multiple DUIs, I'm
not trying to defend DUIs, but there's some things out there where you're kind of like, man, for real? Like, I had a beer and I went to go pick up a pizza. And then I come home, or on the way home, you know, it's getting dark out. You don't turn on your headlights quite yet. They pull you over for your headlights not being on, breathalyze you, and you're over the limit. And you're just like, seriously? I've had one beer, and I went to go get my pizza and come back home. Like,
oh, yeah.
You know, like, you wouldn't think twice about it. Mow the lawn, had a beer, went to go get the pizza, come back home. Nope. You know,
oh yeah, no.
I'm not saying this is my story. I'm just saying that's stuff that happens to people, and it's like.
No, well, here's the real fucked up thing, and
you
I've
get
heard,
slapped with a DUI, and then you get looked at as like a person that's like, I'm not. It's like, I'm not like a bad person.
Here's the shittier thing, though. You know? People that are trying to do the right thing, so they're in their car, they're maybe taking a nap, which nowadays you don't know if they're taking a nap or they're fucking out because they're you know, they're doing more than drinking. But, you know, somebody that's had too much to drink at the bar, they can't sit in their car anymore. If their keys are even in the front seat, they can be convicted of a DUI. Because it's possible for them to start the car. Although technically, it's going by letter, like the word for word version, your keys have to be in the ignition, but you can... It don't matter anymore.
What if we put them in the glove box?
Glove box, you'd be all right. Back seat, you'd be all right. But they have to be outside of arm's reach of you.
Huh.
That is the only way you can
get
keep
in your car and
that's
the
only way for doing the right thing.
Once you get in your car, the salt shaker your keys to the back of the car, swing right over the right shoulder. Then Seabass will be like, "Who doesn't want to hit me with their keys?" You know what I mean? Like, if you got in the driver's seat and you're like, oh, I'm too screwed up to drive, just chuck them straight to the back window. You're not going to be there out of arm's reach. Just take a nap.
Yeah, but you still got to be careful because...
Chug some water. Get out of the driver's seat.
People on drugs nowadays, nodding out or passing out in their cars, somebody sees you in there, they're going to break your window. And you might still get charged for doing the right thing. Not even breaking the law at all and still get convicted. It's a lot of BS.
Yeah, it's crazy. But I don't think you should be getting messed up to the point where you're passing out in your car either. You know, that's probably not a good thing.
No, you shouldn't do that either.
Because, I don't know, I heard some stories, man. It's just like, you're like, oh, wow. You know, I wouldn't have thought of that.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of bad things.
Not even knowing how they got home and realizing like the next day that they ran over like 3 cars, you know, or like just like, you know, played demo derby down the street and didn't even know it and then got home, kind of like Wolf of Wall Street style, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Except it's not Quaaludes, it's booze.
Yeah. Oh, I did a great job coming home. Goes out and looks at his car. He's like all mashed up. And you're like, oh, wow.
Wait, I don't think I did a great job getting home.
Like, I don't remember that. Then it's all starts coming back to you.
You know, as somebody that's had those moments, it is terrifying.
Well, there's a lot of blackouts and stuff, man. You know, and you're
like, it's definitely something. If you're doing that when you're going out to have a good time, you should probably
don't do that, people.
You should probably get some help if that's what's happening.
Yeah, don't be
personal experience. I ain't judging nobody. I've done way worse than that.
Yeah.
I've done so much worse than that. That's not a good thing.
Passing out, driving 50
I'm not
mile
endorsing
an hour
criminal
activity. You drove across 53 into the ditch.
Dude, I wasn't even drunk.
I know, but you were coming home from BG, and it was a night of drinking. So.
Oh, yeah. But I wasn't drunk at that point.
But we were young at that time. That was the old 21.
I definitely should not have tried driving. I was so tired. So tired.
So I'm not excusing that because you're young, but I'm just saying if you're young, don't do stupid stuff like that.
If you're listening to some of these stories, learn from mostly my mistakes.
Oh man, well remember the night I was coming home from your house and that kid ran into the freaking tree going around the curve there on 15. Remember that? And I called you and I was like, bro.
Oh
this kid
yeah.
just died. Yeah. Like, so I'm coming down this road, and it's a 60-mile-an-hour road, and there's some curves and stuff, and at night there's no, like, reflectors or any white lines, really, so it's kind of dark, and there's a lot
out in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah, and there's a lot of deer that run around, so you got to watch out where, you can't just be flying down the road. Even though it's a 55-mile-an-hour road, you got to be going, like, 55 or less, just because there's curves and there's deer and it's just dark and stuff. It's a lot darker than in town. And I'm driving up, and on this curve
I totally forgot about
on this curve there's this house, and it's like it looks like they're having this giant bonfire, but it was like it just started. It was like I could see it just starting. I didn't really hear anything because I was still about, I don't know, half a mile to a mile away. But apparently that was the car catching on fire. And because I got closer, and this car was just into this oak tree, this huge oak tree, and it was just on fire, looking like something out of a movie, like Escape from LA or something, where
dude, that stuff is surreal the first time you see it.
And it's just like, you were like, what is going on? There's glass everywhere and all this crap, and the guy's out front, and I see this flashlight going all over the place, and I'm like, what is going on over here? These people with this bonfire, they're nuts out on the road flashing flashlights. What are these, kids or something? But no, it's this guy, running up to me with this flashlight, right? Because then I start seeing all the glass in the car and stuff, and I'm like, what happened? He's just like, oh, he's gone, man. Kid got ejected, straight through his windshield. And, yeah, it's crazy. I think a deer ran in front of him, and he tried to swerve it or something. I don't know.
Dude, that happens a lot, man. When I was still on fire department. That's our best guess at what happened at the one and only DOA I had. It was one guy in a pickup truck. Pretty sure there was no seatbelt
But
involved.
it is kind of a curve there,
And this was a straight road, dark country road, but straight road in between fields. So chances are there was a deer, and he swerved and overcorrected and flipped his truck, and we were picking him up off the road.
Man, I was coming.
That was a rough night, man.
Oh yeah, picking people up off the road is not cool.
Like that. I mean, that was my first and only DOA I ever was on while I was there. Because, generally, first responders will not declare a DOA. Like they save it for the hospital. But there are clear-cut times where it's like, yeah, and this was one of those times because, it's a lot of it's got to do with liability. Like, that's why most first responders won't declare a DOA if there's any possibility of life or revival.
Yeah, there wasn't anybody there yet, and I actually asked the guy. I was like, "Did you call somebody?" He's like, "Oh yeah, I called 911, and they're on their way." I was like, "Okay." I was like, "You need me to stay here with you?" And he's like, no. I was like, okay, well, I'm going to get out of here before, the zoo comes. I don't want to be stuck in here, and I don't need to be in the way with everything. And
that's a better way to do it. Like, honestly, one of the roughest things to deal with when we had accidents or large fires, like structure fires near a road and stuff.
Oh, this was a fire though, too.
People,
they need to put
people looky-looing,
Yeah. Driving by real slow and gawking and stuff, or trying to drive up to the situation. You're just like, get out of here.
They'll get out and start trying to ask, like there were people that actually stopped and got out of their vehicles at some of the scenes we had. And people don't ever do that. You're getting in the way of your volunteers, your trained volunteers and professionals doing what they need to do, and it's not easy. Even if you love doing it, it's still rough.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember coming home from wing night out at Shell Shuckers when it used to be Shell Shuckers out there on 224 and 53. And I was like 17. I remember Randavis was like all laid up. His knee was all messed up, so he was on crutches in my back of my van.
Right.
And we were coming home, and we were just going past Morrison Lake and went down the hill, went past the lake, coming back up the hill. Well, we were sitting there at the road coming home from Daniel's house.
Yeah.
So we were sitting at the road when we were facing, 15, and this truck just goes flying by. He must have been going 75 mile an hour, at least 75, 80 mile an hour. And this is a 55 mile an hour road, like the same road we're talking about. The kid had the accident, and he's going onto a hill where you're going straight down the hill or kind of, by this lake. And then you're going back up a hill, which then goes into a curve. And this curve is like a 45 mile an hour curve. And I see him fly by. I pull out. I watch him go down the hill. I see him going back up the hill, and I'm like kind of by the lake, and I'm starting to come back up the hill. And once I crest the hill and get on top, I see him going around that curve, going into the field, and then his truck just starts flipping. Like barrel roll flipping into the field. And I'm like, holy crap.
That shit is crazy.
And I kind of go up there and kind of speed up there. And like I said, my brother's in crutches at that point. And we didn't have cell phones or anything.
Hell no, not back then.
Yeah. And I was just like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? And the kid, I was just, Tom's a first responder, and your dad, you guys live right there. I was like,
I wasn't a first responder at the time.
No, your dad is though.
Yeah.
And so is Tom. And I was like, I gotta go tell Tom or something like that, and I was like, I got nothing to do. I can't tell anybody or do anything. I went up and saw if the guy was okay, and he was okay. He was in his truck and he was talking, and he got out. He's like, oh man. I was
that's what's whether he seemed okay or not, him moving around was the last thing he wanted to do, because you have no idea how many like spinal injuries.
Right.
People will seem okay at first, and they'll be walking around and moving around, and then later in the day or the next day, they are paralyzed.
Oh yeah. So I was like, man, I'm gonna go get somebody real quick. I know somebody that's, a first responder fireman right up the road. I'm gonna drive up the road real quick and get him and tell him to call 911 and get some paramedics out here for you. Oh, I'm okay. I'm like, no.
Probably trying to drive off because he was messed up.
Yeah, you could tell it kind of smelled like it. And I even said that to the cop when the cop showed up, because I had to give a report and stuff.
Right.
And, I was like, I kind of smelled alcohol on him. I don't know if that's playing any, thing in this, but he was going fast, you know what I mean?
Right.
But at that time, I didn't drink at all. I was 17 years old. I was,
All right, don't lie. We drank. It just wasn't very much.
I really didn't. Oh, I didn't really start drinking until I was like like at the end of that year, and then I was like almost 18. That's when I started kind of drinking some stuff, but not like heavy. I didn't even drink beer or like beer or anything like that. It was like Boone's Farm or
so much Boone's Farm.
Mad Dog 2020. The good stuff. Ripple.
You know what's even funnier? When my dad and his brothers and sisters will be talking, they'll be talking about when they drank Boone's Farm and Mad Dog 2020. So that stuff, as bad as it is, it's stuck around. It's been around for at least 60 cents. It's been around for a minute. People have been drinking that in high school.
It's like Kool-Aid, man. Like, you're just drinking it, and it doesn't even taste like it has liquor in it, and all of a sudden you're drunk, and you're like, all right. It's the wine of wines.
It's the wine of wines. It's the wine of cheap, get you meth. Just all kinds of
it's
effed
corn
up.
syrup wine. It's like corn syrup and Kool-Aid and vodka mixed together, and they call it wine.
Oh man,
it's almost like what it is. I swear.
Do you remember Mad Dog races?
Oh yeah, just chugging that stuff, man. And what was the
And
other
like you
thing?
could down it so fast.
The 20 bananas, or what was that?
99 bananas.
99 bananas. That's what it was. Oh my god.
Ah,
That's right. And then all the cheap vodka from like
the Kroger vodka.
Oh my
Kroger and
God.
gas station vodka.
We would get like half gallons of that stuff, man. You get
I
like
mean, because you could buy half gallons of it. You needed a half gallon of it just to get drunk.
Well, you'd buy like half gallons of that and some Mountain Dew or something. And you're like, all right, we're good for the night.
My favorite was half gallons of that and half gallons of Sunny D doing the poor man's screwdriver.
Ooh, Sunny D. I do like Sunny D. I mean, it's cheap tasting now, but isn't that true about all things when you're a kid? When you're a kid, you're like, oh, this is so good. And you get to be adults and you're like,
I don't know.
not
I think
as
it's
good as advertised, you know?
I think it's some things. Some things definitely get the nostalgia filter.
Yeah.
And other things do last. Like Ecto coolers.
Oh, definitely.
Ecto
Yeah.
coolers still just as good as when I was a kid. You can't beat them.
You can't beat the Ecto Cooler.
Same with Tang, man.
I see, man. So good.
I love
Oh, yeah.
yeah,
Tang.
I love Tang, both Tangs. But
Oh,
I'm
Tang.
talking about the powdered juice Tang.
We're not talking about Poon. We're talking about Juice Tang.
Yeah, not Poontang, Juice
Juice Tang.
Tang. Not Wu Tang, not Poontang. I'm talking about that Juice Tang.
You know, the orangutan.
Yeah, oh my God, I forgot that it was always an orangutan in the
Yeah.
commercials. Oh, those were the classic Tang commercials too.
Yep.
Oh, that was actually one of the things I thought was pretty cool at the drive-in Saturday night was that all the intermission advertisements were like, they made them look like ads from back in the 50s.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
You went to the one in the drive-in on 53?
Yeah,
How is that now?
it's pretty nice. Like,
Is you know what I mean? I heard they really fixed up the
oh yeah,
cafeteria or whatever you
the
want to call
cafeteria is awesome.
it. Diner or whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Because
I mean, it does look more like a diner now than it does like a.
Because I remember going there in high school and it
snack
looked like
stand.
it didn't get it. I mean, and we were in high school. We graduated in, we're going to date ourselves, 03. And
that place was not.
no, it was like it would last updated in like 1953. And it was like,
Like it looked like that place. Like when you were there, you could buy drugs at.
yeah, no, yeah. But it looked, yeah, you walk up, I have the special, you know. They give you a bag of crack, you know. You're like, oh my gosh. All right. I thought I was getting a cheeseburger, but apparently crack it is. But yeah, it just looked like Happy Days, man. But like Happy Days,
Like a rundown Happy Days.
rundown Happy Days. Seriously, like it was just like, man, this is old looking. You guys should update this stuff.
No, the stand is real nice now. Both the screens set up good, so you like.
Is there like sound boxes for everybody, or is you got to?
No, you just tune into the radio station.
Dude, there's this Chinese place that I order at all the time, and you call them, and I swear to God, if you do not know what you're ordering when you call, holy crap! If you have a question, if you have anything, she will be like, if you don't know what you want, why you call? You know. It's like, oh my gosh, like I'm just asking. I don't have time for this. I got hung up on one time. I had to call back to get my food. Like it's like I love this food so much that I will go through that. And then I got so good at ordering and doing my thing there, and they got so good at knowing me. So now every time I go there, they're like, oh hey, how are you? You know, they're so nice. But man, once you know how to do it and do the thing, you're in like Flynn. But like if you're not doing it right, they're gonna hate you. They do. They're like, oh my gosh, you'll pull up. They're like, oh, I'm so sorry that took so long. He don't know how to order right like you. I have a stereotypical accent for everyone, even white people. Hello, it's me, the white guy.
Could I have some mayonnaise on my sandwich, please?
I would like mayonnaise on top of my mayonnaise.
I would also like
on my white
eggs.
bread.
Yes, it must be white bread.
The
with
saltine crackers
I don't want
dipped
any
into it.
filling besides mayonnaise in my white bread
Yes.
sandwich.
And noodles with just butter, nothing else on them.
Oh, cheese. I would like cheese. I would like American cheese with my mayonnaise and white bread. And I must make sure I enunciate every
Everything.
part of every word.
Yes, very, very good. We're not going to go through all of our ethnicities that we can do.
Nah. We could do a lot though. It's
Yeah.
fun sometimes. Maybe one day you guys will hear it.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God, why are you hitting me with stuff?
I didn't mean to. It wasn't my fault. It came out of the sky.
He lies. He is a dirty, rotten liar, folks.
It came from the sky. Joe Dirte.
Joe Dirte.
Put a little E on the end of it. Pronounce it Dirte.
It makes me sound a little more exotic. Hey, I can see down your shirt.
Yeah.
I mean, really, if you're getting
Came
taken
out.
off into the sky, you don't know if you're going to live, you're going to die, what's going to happen.
Right. Oh yeah, he's flying.
At least you
away
get
in
to
the-
go out
in the balloon.
with some wonderful imagery. I wish I was one with
I can
Angry
fly in my
Birds.
dreams sometimes. You ever have flying dreams? Like my flying dreams, I'm
I
kind
do,
of like
but they usually precede falling dreams.
mine always kind of like go like I'm flying, but I can also like Aquaman it, so I'm like going under. So it's almost like I'm Superman, where I'm like going under the water, but it always turns into freaking sharks chasing me, man. Freaking Jaws, man.
Dude,
Telling you.
Try lucid dreaming.
when
Like I
was,
can do it sometimes. Like I can't do it very often because
I think it was
I
when
don't
I
like
was
my
younger and
dreams
I
too
watched
much. And they're
Jaws
so
and I-
intense. Like I lose my shit.
He was
But
always so scary to me. And then
Sometimes
I was
when things
fascinated
are
with
like,
sharks.
it's something that I've dreamt before, or like something that it's just intense enough that I'm like, okay, totally dreaming right now. I need to
Right.
get this under control because this is going to suck otherwise.
Oh no, yeah. No, I do that in my dreams too. Kind of like you're like, dude. When I'm flying in my dreams, I
Do you do
know-
the barrel rolls and the loop-de-loops?
I know it's
You
not
should
so
do
much
barrel
that.
rolls and loop-de-loops.
What happens with me is like
Or pretend you have machine guns and you're
I'm
shooting down
liter-
pelicans.
I'm literally like David Blaining in front of people. You know what I mean? Like I start like floating.
Are you
and so-
wiggling your hips back and forth?
No,
like
but
that,
like
too?
I'll put my arms
You
straight
should
out.
be.
I'll put my arms straight out to my sides. Like
so
I'm just
you're like
standing
Iron
there.
Man in it without the Iron Man.
No, not like down, but like out, like out,
wah.
like your arms are spread out, like spread,
Like spread them.
and I sit there and I'll just concentrate and I'll start floating, and once I start floating, I can kind of control it, and then I get up to like a tree height, and I'm kind of like up there, and I can kind of float around, and you kind of feel like a balloon where you're kind of drifting down, and you're getting control of it, and you're doing this, and once you really get control of it, that's when I start flying around. Like
There you
literally.
go, folks. Today's episode brought to you by Lucid Dreaming. It's not easy, so work hard.
And I can do Spider-Man dreams sometimes too. Like straight up Spider-Man powers where I'm sticking on the walls and I'm like shooting out the web and I'm swinging and I can feel myself like the tension of the web and it feels like I'm literally swinging and flipping. It's crazy, man.
Yeah, there's some dreams I can't, like, I'm not able to do anything about it at all. Like it's more like it's a memory. Like they're way intense too. Like
Oh,
I
they
can
were-
feel like heat and dust. I can read things.
Dude, I was
even
fighting
if it's
Green
stuff that I
Goblin
don't
in
know.
this freaking like I was fighting.
And then I have
Green
like
Goblin
random.
in
I had a
damn-
random Jackie Chan dream where I'm like running through the streets and like all the doors are boarded up and like bad guys are jumping out. I'm just like getting knocked around and beating the crap out of people and like trying to run and get away. I woke up the next morning like upside down with my feet over my head. Like so, little rundown. I have my bed. It's sitting in the middle of the room up against one wall. There's a dresser next to it and a nightstand against the wall on the side. And I am upside down, feet up over my head on the dresser that's on the same wall as my bed. My sheets tangled up over me. Have no idea how I got down there. I woke up so confused. Like, I felt like I had worked out for like 5 hours and I'm like confused. Like, why am I on the floor? How could I? Like, I needed help. I had to yell for mom and dad to help me get untangled and get up because between the sheets and how I was with my feet over my head, I couldn't move.
You're like, help. I need to get out of here. They're like, what were you doing?
That was pretty much how that conversation went. Like, that's almost word for word. Are you psychic? Were you there?
No, I wasn't, but I was. I've been there, man.
That's just what you'd say if you found one of your own kids in that state, right?
I'd be like, bro, hold on a second. I'd take a picture of it. And then
Well,
I'd
back
help 'em
then,
out.
we didn't have smartphones with cameras, so
You get the
I guess I got
Polaroid.
lucky on that one.
You get that Polaroid out.
I'm lucky we didn't have a Polaroid
Put it in
because
the
I
old
could see my dad
photo
going
album.
and getting that. Like, hold on, before I help you. You're a dick, Dad.
You put it up really
So I was
high
like
if you
12 or
can't get it.
13 at the time. There's no way I would have called my dad a dick back then.
I
Yeah.
have these crazy dreams sometimes, dude, where I'm always like in this river and I'm either like canoeing or I'm jet skiing or I'm flowing down it, but I'm always running into like gators or crocodiles, man. You're like, damn it, here's these damn crocodiles again in the water. And like,
Dude, crocodile hunter, that shit.
like it's
like,
always like every time
Catch it,
I don't
lucid
know.
dream it, and be like, oh, now look here. This is a beaut. Look at it. She's at least 12 feet long.
If
She's a
it's-
real killer. One of the most dangerous animals in the world, especially in water.
So-
now, watch me jump in there and shove my thumb up its butt and see how pissed off I can get her.
So basically, every time it's like a river type of situation in my dreams, it's crocodiles or
Just remember,
alligators.
thumb up the
But
butt.
anytime that it's a big like ocean
South Park
or
crocodile
something
hunter.
like that, it's always sharks. You know, I'm gonna put a picture of me and John B when we went to go shoot zombies, and he's
Oh, that's a good picture.
it's not a good picture. You're looking off into like the right. I always tell people this is my half retarded brother that is blind, and I took him to a nice little laser tag thing for blind people. And
For blind people.
you look like you're blind in the thing, man. It's hilarious. You're like looking off to the right, and the camera's right in front of you, and you like smiling at the camera, but your eyes are over there. It's like, what is going on here, man? Okay. Anyway,
Yeah, but I look so cool with my vest on.
yeah, we dressed up like Resident Evil people. So anyway,
Yeah.
I think I have to throw that on there.
So,
But like I said, we're gonna get going, and we love you guys, and thanks for tuning in.
yeah,
We'll see you
good night,
later.
y'all.